Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever podcasts can be found. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the little notify bell next to it to make sure you always got your new Going In Raw notifications. We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. We have a variety of reward tiers over there. Be sure to check them out. We got a couple new patrons here.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what we got. Trevon. It's Trevon is a new patron.
Thank you.
Is a new patron. And then somebody also increased. Who is this?
Yeah, someone from 5 to 50.
Yeah, someone from 5 to 50. So they're going to get that fancy shirt.
Nice.
Let's see here. What the heck? Oh, it's not going to be there. It's going to be under the word. I'd put the word edited.
You got to put edit. Yeah.
I think that was Josh Kavanaugh.
That sounds right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you
for the support. We do appreciate it. We got
Very
a bunch of great
so.
reward tiers over there.
We
owe
do.
the people a beefy Ask Steven Larson this week because
We'll go an hour this week then, huh?
This dang schedule of ours, it's like all over the place.
Well, then we try to do the WWE 2K20 thing and get glitches, and we got some stuff. The game is on the verge of just blowing up, and
the game always feels like it's on the verge.
I know,
of blowing
but we
up
didn't
and
actually
breaking down.
cross that threshold.
We
from
can try
on
again
verge
this week.
of. I don't know. It's such a terrible.
It's not a fun game to play.
No, it's not fun
That's
at all.
For sure. Absolutely.
You would think with the game constantly be on the verge of falling apart, it would be fun, but it's not. Because you don't get at least we haven't yet got the satisfaction of it seeing it fall apart.
Yeah.
Firsthand, at least.
I get the feeling that we're just procrastinating right now, Larson.
Why? Well, same thing. That's one of the things. Like we were back there streaming. This is legit. We were back there streaming, and we were like, well, we ran a little late. We normally would if he had done just a morning news show.
Yeah.
And so we were like, well, we got to work tonight, so.
No, I was talking about the subject matter for today's show.
No, I know. I'm saying in response to you saying why we didn't do an Ask Steven Larson. That is why.
Yeah. No, I know.
We kind of got put off our rhythm.
Also, be sure to check out if you're on YouTube. You can also get access to the bonus episodes through the little join button. You can become a YouTube channel member. Anyways, Larson, let's hop right into this. This is not an easy thing to talk about.
No.
This Jordan Myles WWE situation, especially being two middle-aged white guys. So we'll just put that out there. I'm also going to say this. Whether you're watching live in chat, we have a bunch of wonderful, amazing mods who are going to be keeping an eye on the situation there. As soon as this goes live on VOD, we'll both be monitoring the comments. Look, man, if you're going to make any points about this, make sure they're civil, not followed with a bunch of exclamation points, not in all caps, and make sure they're well thought out and
be cool.
Just be cool.
Be cool.
Because, look, we love having a thriving live community here on the show. You don't want to get banned, and you will if you're going to act a fool.
Mm-hmm. So just be cool.
We'll lay that out there for you.
Yeah.
Because talking about, race issues, it's not easy, man. It's not easy. Even, this past Friday, watching SmackDown, Hogan's out there. And to this day, when I see Hulk Hogan, I'm still very much reminded of the Hulk Hogan thing.
Yeah.
And it's difficult, even as a fan of the product, to come to terms with there are things that he can do that are entertaining. Like we both, when he did the Young Boy thing, we were laughing, quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a momentary laugh though. Then as soon as that subsides, you think, oh yeah, that's still Hogan.
And and it's like, yeah, it's entertainment. And yeah, he did a lot for pro wrestling. And would there be a WWE without Hogan? Probably not. But at the same time, you can't help but remember the stuff that he said in private that was captured on camera.
Yeah, and then his kind of lack of apology about it thereafter.
Yeah. So it's not easy to talk about, but this is news, and we got to talk about it, and that's sort of what y'all are supporting us to do is to talk about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, we'll just hop right into it. NXT superstar Jordan Myles, of course, he was the winner of the Breakout tournament.
Yeah, and I don't think he's been on TV
since his Adam Cole
match.
Anyways, he took to Twitter this weekend to call out WWE for designing and offering for sale a blatantly offensive T-shirt bearing his name. First, he tweeted a picture of the shirt and said, "They'll regret making this." He later added, "I will keep posting this till my voice is heard. I'm not sorry for anything I say or do. Representation is important. If this is," and then he tagged them, "Vince McMahon and Triple H's vision of me, then this is a slap in the face to every African-American performer, fan, and supporter." Now, if you haven't seen the t-shirt, it might behoove you to take a look at it. It's, I mean, it is just very obviously a portrayal of his name that appears to be a blackface type image. It's on a black t-shirt. His letters, the letters of his name, are made to look like teeth. A smile, basically,
essentially,
with a bright red background. Which, I mean, there's plenty of parallels there you can take a look at.
Yeah, and you don't have to. There's no stretch to make sense parallels.
No, there is
not.
It's
like, all right.
And when
parallels are obvious.
When they've said about him, Morrow has said, because he has a very distinctive smile, a very infectious smile. Jordan Myles does, and Morrow references his smiles for Myles. And you see how they interpreted that on the shirt. You can't help but put that together. Mm-hmm. You can't help but look at that and see that. Mm-hmm. So it is kind of obvious.
Yeah. Wrestling journalist David Bixenspan tweeted at Myles and asked if he had just become aware of the shirt, which I guess has been out for a month or two or so.
Yeah.
And has since been replaced with a far less offensive design. Mm-hmm. Myles responded, quote, "I've used this shirt as fuel. I knew the shirt existed, and my soul hasn't been able to rest properly since I've laid eyes on it. My voice will be heard. My true opinion will be heard, and my people will have their moment." WWE issued a statement about the shirt to PW Insider, which read, quote, "Albert Hardy Jr., a.k.a. Jordan Myles, approved this T-shirt for sale. As always, we work collaboratively with all our performers to develop logos and merchandise designs to get their input and approval before proceeding. This was the same process with Albert, and responded swiftly once he later requested the logo T-shirt be redesigned. No T-shirts were sold." They issued that statement late yesterday. This morning, Myles responded to that. First, he put up a short video on Twitter where he said WWE doesn't care about black people.
And I think he threw up the middle finger.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
That has since been deleted. In subsequent posts, he stated, quote, "When I originally saw the design, I was uncomfortable. Rather than addressing the issue, I decided to counter offer with another. Baker and Landon lied to my face. He said Triple H wanted this design, so my hands were tied. I spoke with Triple H in person, and his impression was I improved."
I approved.
Sorry, yes. What did I say?
It sounded like you said improved.
Oh, sorry. I approved.
Yeah.
Sorry. He then posted a screen cap of an email from Baker Landon. I don't know what role Baker Landon has in WWE.
Are we to assume that he was the designer, or at least the merch shop liaison, perhaps?
Something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly.
He said, "Hey, Albert."
This is the email, yeah.
Yeah, this is from the email. Hey, Albert.
She included the dude's email address, too.
True. Triple H attended a meeting and had a revision for your logo, but loved it for your character. He wanted to the letter to be more teethy, and what I have attached is what he liked. Also, basic T-shirts on there that he approved as well. Road Dogg preferred the gray, but let us know what you think. What do you think about, number one, what do you think about WWE's original statement on the matter saying ACH approved this? No shirts have been for sale. No shirts have been sold, and we've taken it down. Not the best statement.
It doesn't address the issue.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, the better way to do it was just say, okay, we after consulting with Jordan Myles, and realized that this shirt was a mistake, and we've taken it down and offer an apology for putting that shirt out there in the first place. That's probably the appropriate reaction.
Yeah, for sure.
Rather than kind of saying, well, Jordan Myles said it was fine.
Yeah. That's the first line of their statement is he said it was okay, when obviously there was some massive miscommunications going on here, and that's really how you should start.
Yes.
Number one, we apologize for any We're always trying to work better too, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
This was a huge miscommunication between our merch team and Albert.
Yeah.
We'll work to do better in the future.
Yes.
Even if you're upset that he sort of went, in their eyes, rogue by calling this out, you're a giant company.
I know.
You got to act like it.
Yes.
You can't act. You can't be pointing fingers and doing that business. That's dumb.
Yep.
So finally, Myles posted, the whole WWE system is fraud. They created this system where you can't trust anyone. You grow cold and you grow apart from what you love the most. Even if you take the racist overtones out of it, this is not the first time a wrestler has felt this way about WWE. I'm not sure what happens with this. There's still more. Oh, he also said this: the fact that Hulk Hogan is still employed after giving the locker room an apology for being caught says enough. # for the culture.
He encouraged people to change their Twitter avatars, their pictures, to black and white.
Yeah.
# for the culture.
Man, starting a movement.
Yep.
So, yeah, look, you can never, I'll put it this way. You can never, ever, ever give the WWE the benefit of the doubt when it comes to how they've handled race stuff.
Yeah.
Crime Time, when did they debut? Like less than 10 years ago?
It was in the 2000s.
It was in the 2000s.
Yeah.
It was mid-aughts, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't what was the name of the act that was coming out of lawnmowers? Was it Mexicool?
Yeah, Mexicools.
I mean, come on. That wasn't that long ago.
No, that's probably in 2000 as well.
Right. I mean, and that's just scratching the surface. Those are like the two blatant ones that come to mind
You go further
recently.
back, and there's plenty more.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can never give them, I'm sorry, even to this day, you cannot give them the benefit of the doubt. You cannot. Can they sometimes be, like in this case, I would like to think that WWE was simply stupidly oblivious about the design of this shirt.
Well, Albert, Jordan Myles brought up representation, and I think that's important when you have a management structure that lacks diversity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
And then, so there's, in theory, no one, as designs move up the ladder, that can look at that and say,
right,
this is no good.
Yeah. When you have a roster that is in this, you make a very good point right there. When you have a roster that is increasingly diverse, because they have been doing a better job lately of looking internationally for superstars. And when you're going up the chain, when it comes to merchandise, which is meant to represent these superstars, and you have a bunch of people who probably look like you and me, that's a huge problem.
It's a massive problem.
That's a huge problem.
It's a massive problem.
Because where do those people start, when it comes to, it already seems like there's a lack of, they say in their statement that it's a collaborative. It's obviously not a collaborative effort. The merchandise is obviously not a collaborative effort.
No, at best they design a bunch of stuff and they put it in, get it in front of the superstar, and either they say yes or no.
Yeah.
That's probably the extent of the collaboration. And if they say no, then they probably make a small tweak, and Triple H like, yeah, that's fine, and off it goes.
Yeah.
I would imagine. I doubt that a designer and wrestler are side by side in front of Illustrator coming up with ideas together. Mm-hmm. That, in my mind, would be collaborative.
Yeah. Jordan Myles didn't quite stop there, though, because he continued in a tweet that has since been deleted. He said, F Ring of Honor 2. They only allowed one African-American to be the, quote, top guy, while guys like Cedric Alexander, TD, Malcolm, who's this? Malcolm Velli?
That's Stokely Hathaway.
Oh, okay. And myself had to chase this visible carrot and stick. He said, name another African-American who has reached great heights there other than, and he uses this phrase, and I'm quoting it from here because it's not something that I would ever say. Otherwise, this Uncle Tom, and he points at, and he has a picture of Jay Lethal. That is territory that is sort of beyond my commentary. So yeah, I really do not know how to react to that one.
Yeah.
I did reach out to Armad, and he gave me permission to sort of talk about this conversation to AO Worm, who's right now modding in chat, and he has some very strong thoughts about all this, about the WWE stuff specifically. He's like, yeah, no, they're being, whoever came up with the design, number one, should be fired, and WWE has done plenty of racist things in their past. Because I wanted to get another perspective. From instead of just, old white guy. And so, but I imagine there are people out in the African-American community who might understand this tweet. Mm-hmm. There might be some people, I mean, it's not, people are people and they're all unique. And I'm sure there are people who look at this tweet and are like, wow, I can't believe you said that. You have that as well. Cedric Alexander said something after this tweet. He said, and again, open for interpretation. I'm sure he meant what he meant, but he wasn't exactly crystal clear. He said something like, the truth is difficult to be heard if it's buried in hate. Something along those lines. So, I mean, this is all really, really touchy stuff.
Yeah. Jordan Myles had some more tweets this morning. This one, he said, Tupac once said, "I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world." And Jordan Myles says, "I'm that brain." And someone tweeted at him, "What's the end game, though?" And he said, "Better representation and to be heard." Mm-hmm. Yeah, representation is a huge part of it. Mm-hmm. It really is. Yeah, no, absolutely.
So yeah, it's a situation. I mean, that's one thing that, not to get too broad about things, but we're living, especially these days, we're living in a time when, things like social media, especially, it's still in its nascent form, even though it's been around for a little while now, but it's really letting a lot of things. And, the idea of everybody having, high definition cell phone or cameras on their phones these days. A lot of stuff is bubbling up in this country to the surface, And I think it's probably for the better that all this stuff just needs to come out. We got to deal with it. And it's ugly sometimes, but you got to deal with it. WWE needs to get their act together when it comes to the kind of things that we've talked about, especially the point you made about representation up the ranks, going all the way up the ladder. Every rung should have representation that sort of is in line with the people who are on camera as well. Yeah.
The diversity of the workplace should be represented in management as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's where we are with that. Let me ask you something really quick. Would it behoove us, the business that we have to take care of, would it behoove us to put it on tomorrow's show, or do you want to keep it on today's?
We can do it tomorrow.
Okay, we'll do it tomorrow. Okay.
We'll do it tomorrow.
Cool. Right on. So, yeah, obviously, look, if you're going to talk about this in the comments, do so respectfully with civility. It's a discussion that I think is wonderful to have.
Yes.
As long as there are cooler heads and educated minds.
Yes, exactly.
Involved in those discussions.
Exactly. In the day, just be cool.
Yeah. But be cool. By all means, I'm very interested to hear in other perspectives.
Absolutely.
So, if you want to tweet at us at RealGoingInRaw, we're happy to
leave a comment in this video as long as it's respectful, educated.
Yeah, exactly.
By all means.
So anyways, let's move on to some more wrestling stuff.
Yeah. Could potentially be a new day for the New Day.
Oh, you know what we did? You know what we didn't talk about? We were talking about this earlier, but 2K20, they released a statement about the patch. Let's do that before we talk about the New Day.
All right, fair enough.
Because we were talking about 2K20, and they are releasing a patch. No, I'm sorry. They issued a statement. They issued a statement about when you can expect the patch. And again, I know this isn't WWE, this is 2K, but this statement here, about how much of a crap fest this game is. We are listening closely to the feedback that's been shared regarding WWE 2K20 and are aware of the concerns some players are reporting. We're working hard to investigate these concerns and address them as necessary. We expect to have an initial patch ready in the next 2 weeks, with others to follow. Stay tuned to WWE Games social media channels for more information. That's not even close to being enough.
Should be our apologies for dropping a game that obviously wasn't finished. We will do our best to finish the game and offer players some recompense for spending $60 in a game that obviously wasn't finished.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
Yeah. Who was this? Oh, Tony Pizza Guy.
Oh, that was great.
Friend of the show.
Man, he's awesome.
I love this dude. He wrote his own response. That should have been the one. And this is great. Somebody hired this guy to do their PR.
I know.
He put this out. He said, this is what it should have been. This is what you should have said. As you are aware, we have some, all caps, glaring issues with WWE 2K20. We deeply apologize for the current state of the game. Because of Yuke's leaving, we had to put together a new team of talented individuals. With majority of the devs being new, we had some learning curves to making this game less than perfect. Developing a game in 12 months is a grueling process, but we had to meet our deadline for many different parties, including but not limited to stockholders, executives, and WWE. We are obligated to have an annual release, and we are committed to do so. Going forward, we are going to be open and honest with you, and we'll work very hard to gain your trust again. WWE is not just a video game to us, but our passion. We are working as quickly as possible to get a patch update out to fix many of the major issues you have encountered. Thank you for your understanding and patience. Look for more updates regarding the state of this game soon. Thank you, 2K Games. That was written by Tony Pizza Guy. Why couldn't somebody at 2K written that?
That was twice as long as
yeah, I know.
the official response.
I know. And every sentence was like one of humility and apology and humanity. Mm-hmm. Not just, hey, we've heard there's some problems.
Oh, we heard some people are having some issues. No, the game it barely works. Look, we've met a lot of people who work over there for the WWE 2K franchise.
They probably put in
I know, and they've all been
20-hour days.
They've all been great. They've all been at the times that we got to go out for events. They've been incredibly generous with their time.
Yeah.
They'll always talk to you.
Yeah.
Nice people.
Yes. And they always seem overworked.
I know.
And I guarantee they are. And they probably kill themselves for this game. And then they get the short end of the stick when it comes to this because they got
it right. I mean, they're beholden to people.
Yeah.
And it's the nature of huge business, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Is when you're beholden to stockholders, WB, your parent company, whatever the case may be, you kind of have no choice in the matter. Mm-hmm. If your game is scheduled to come up on this day, and if not hitting that street date leads to some sort of penalty from WB for not releasing the game on an annual basis, or the stock takes a hit, even though I feel like WB 2K in the grand scheme of Take-Two Interactive and 2K games is kind of a small thing in terms of the sales, because there's like 500,000. Yeah. And for AAA titles, that's not a whole lot.
No, it's not.
And just to your parent company, I mean, you can't really. This is what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Part of your development team leaves, and you got to just scramble to put something out there that's at least somewhat operational to appease all these other people.
Yeah.
And you're going to get the short end of it.
Yep.
Because everybody's going to dump on you, even though I honestly believe probably everybody that worked on this game busted their tails, worked their asses off to try to get this game in the best shape they could.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they're the ones that are going to get dumped on because it's a broken game. Yeah. It's busted.
Yeah. But I mean, you can release a statement that sort of provides some cover for your guys.
Oh,
you know?
totally. And that's
like, hey,
that's not it.
That's still this is what they put out. Totally, isn't it?
Tony's
Tony's
totally is.
Yeah, he's great. Anyways, man, let's talk about this New Day stuff.
Yeah.
Are they going to break up and or go heel?
Well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But if rumors are to be to believe, it looks like the New Day might have a heel turn in their future. WrestlingNews.co is reporting, quote, there have been suggestions made to break up Kingston and Big E. Don't do that, please. But I'm told that a heel turn is what Vince McMahon has been seriously considering. And then Tom Calahoo report on Twitter, quote, keep your eyes peeled for more small signs of Kofi Kingston's impending breakdown. This is going to be a long, slow, magnificent piece of storytelling.
Where are they on Smack? They're on SmackDown.
Uh-huh.
So
now I haven't necessarily noticed it watching the show because it's so subtle. People pointed out like there's a backstage segment where Kofi was kind of like gritting his teeth and breaking up a pancake. And then people I saw on, I think in response to Calahoo's tweet, people were saying that he hasn't been quite as
jovial,
exuberant,
yeah,
making his entrance as he used to be.
Maybe he saw that terrible SmackDown opening that they whipped up. That's just so cringy, and he's all over it.
Yeah.
He's like, I look stupid.
Now, I'd like to think that they're in the midst of developing a long-term, interesting story. However, subtlety has never been WWE's strong point.
Well, that I appreciate. Tom Colley, by the way, seems like a pretty swell guy. His Twitter feed's always a welcome read. But he says that his first sentence I totally believe. Keep your eyes peeled for more small signs of Kofi Kingston's impending breakdown. That I can totally see. This next bit, this is going to be a long, slow, magnificent piece of storytelling.
Well, 2 out of 3.
Hold on there, Tom.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. You know? Yeah. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah.
They'll probably be long and slow. Magnificent, that's up in the air.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see about that one. Believe it when I see it, Tom.
Yeah. I would like to hope it would be magnificent, but...
meanwhile, though, Cage Side Seats is reporting that...
the Wrestling Observer is reporting that.
Okay.
Essentially, there's probably something said on Wrestling Observer Radio. Cage Side Seats heard it.
Yeah.
Wrote a sentence about it.
The New Day were expected to be the top babyface team on the SmackDown brand to feud with the Revival before Xavier Woods got hurt. That may still be the plan. That sounds like a Meltzer thing. That may still be the plan.
I heard they were going to be the top face team. Could still be after Xavier Woods tore his Achilles.
When it doesn't happen, they changed.
Yeah, they changed their mind. You know,
they changed their mind.
You know, Vince, he changes his mind all the time.
Yeah, Vince woke up and changed his mind. You know.
That's a pretty decent out he can have is make a prediction or speculate and something doesn't come to pass. Well, Vince changes his mind.
Why hasn't he has Meltzer put out a shirt that says plans changed? Because that's like the sort of the meme with him.
Yeah, he should, man.
Plans changed.
You should talk to Conrad. Conrad's really good at monetizing catchphrases.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. They have a freaking Jericho over on AEW. They got a Jericho ticket shirt.
Limited time only.
Every innocuous little thing they do, they have to make a T-shirt.
They've learned from Conrad, man.
I guess so. Well, I've learned from the Young Bucks. I mean, those guys were putting out shirt after shirt after shirt.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it related directly to catchphrases because even that thing that JR said about Seth Rollins, they had that shirt ready to go before that podcast even went up.
God. Meanwhile, it takes us like 3 weeks to get a freaking design approved because we're not big movers, man.
No, we're not.
We move more stuff on Friendo Market than we do over there. On
these days we do.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's for sure.
So I don't know. Do you want to see this though? A New Day heel turn? I want to see something magnificent for sure.
Yeah. I would like long, slow, magnificent storytelling. I'd be all about that.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not hopeful that's going to happen to WWE, regardless of who the subject of the story is.
Yeah.
But if it's a situation where they take Kofi's loss and it really starts eating away at him, and it's organic and it's motivated, then yeah, I'd love to see it. But
what could totally work for Kofi is the same thing they did with Becky, because Kofi has that kind of. Number one, I think we've heard a lot more, just anecdotally speaking, we've had a lot more comments that are like, yeah, why is Kofi just totally fine with? I know there's like, oh, no more rematch, no more automatic rematches. I get that, but he should have at least addressed it.
Yeah, no.
You know, when especially you want to lobby for, like, in storyline, you want to lobby for a rematch when your victory or when your loss was seemingly a fluke one.
Yeah, no.
You know, you rushed at the guy and he caught you.
Well, they need to do then. I don't really feel like they've even set this up yet. Is put Kofi in opportunities where he has an opportunity to earn that rematch, and for whatever reason, it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
he can't be eating a ton of pins.
Yeah,
because if that's the case, then you have a situation like Becky where the whole storyline with her is that she's kept on having opportunity taken away.
Yeah.
So when she did have her quote unquote heel turn and beat up Charlotte, people understood her frustrations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the situation where Kofi has some sort of heel turn, the frustrations have to be motivated, and I feel like if they want a Becky situation, motivated, organic, and you should be able to really understand where he is coming from.
I think, you're absolutely right, and it shouldn't be a heel turn necessarily. It should be an explosion of frustration. Everybody can get behind that. That's what they got behind with Becky. It's just an explosion of frustration, and she took it out on the chosen one of the WWE, Charlotte. And so everybody got behind her. And it's like, I know Vince didn't plan that.
No.
But that's what it was. And you can totally replicate that with Kofi.
And Brock.
And Brock.
Yeah.
and, get Big E on his side, whereas Kofi before had been like, hey, dude, I don't want you guys, at ringside. I want to do this on my own. Well, he needs to realize, man, the deck is stacked so far against him. I'm going to use him. I'm going to use Big E.
Yeah.
And then that gets, people, because people want to see Big E blow up also. That dude is the most loved superstar in the WWE, probably. Mm-hmm. People would love to see him start just destroying things.
Imagine if
people love that.
If you drop Brock with a couple belly-to-bellies.
Yeah.
That building
are you like after the a Kane match or something? The Kane Velasquez match.
Yeah.
They come out there while Brock is celebrating. Overhead,
mm-hmm.
and then Kofi comes out, trouble in paradise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it might be different with the Saudi Arabia crowd. I just don't know. I mean, I'm sure they're tuned into the product, but I think that probably should happen like in front of a U.S. crowd, and maybe
it will the next day on SmackDown.
Yeah, something like that.
They're making everybody take a 15-hour flight.
Yeah, I know exactly.
So they can have.
I think there's some really cool
SmackDown
stuff. They can do some really cool, long, slow, magnificent stuff with that.
Yeah.
And then you're getting even more out of the New Day than you currently are.
Yeah.
So that could be really good stuff.
Yeah, totally.
I'd like to see that.
Totally. You want to do a Raw preview? It's extensive today.
Yeah. Let's do a Raw preview.
This is the go home for Crown Jewel. Of course, we will not be watching that. We're going to be doing a charity stream, but since Crown Jewel is Thursday, when we'll be doing our AEW and then later NXT reviews, we're going to do a charity stream, but it's going to be on Friday.
Yeah.
Friday morning.
Yeah, Friday morning.
Are we going to do AEW versus NXT? That's the theme, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, are we going to do it on 2K19?
Yeah, because 2K20 doesn't work.
Yeah.
Creative wrestler, that definitely does not work.
Yeah. It's terrible.
It's not very good.
No,
so we'll do it on 2K19.
Yeah.
We'll do like a 5 or 6 match card.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do some repackaging.
Yeah.
So after we're done with this, we'll sit down and we'll figure out the card.
Yeah, makes sense.
And go from there.
That's cool.
All right. Raw preview: Seth Rollins and Erick Rowan set to battle in Falls Count Anywhere match. Why does Seth keep doing this to himself? With the Universal Championship Falls Count Anywhere match against the Fiend Bray Wyatt at WWE Crown Jewel looming in the distance. Surprised they didn't add that can't be stopped for any reason in that clause. Mm-hmm. Seth Rollins will try his hand at the ruthless stipulation opposite one of Raw's newest monsters. As revealed on FS1's WWE Backstage show, the Universal Champion will go one-on-one with Raw draftee Erick Rowan in a Falls Count Anywhere match this Monday, potentially giving the Beast Slayer a chance to work out the kinks as he barrels towards his horrifying foe at WWE Crown Jewel. The match also carries a certain kind of poetic significance. In what feels like another lifetime, Rowan was a disciple of Wyatt's, and although the former SmackDown Tag Team Champion has since broken away from any and all subjugation to become his own kind of nightmare, Rollins might gain the mental edge that he sorely needs if he can defeat Rowan prior to squaring off against a superstar who has pushed him to the brink of his sanity. Tune in, Raw, Monday, 8/7 Central, USA Network. Who prevails?
It's really long.
It is really long.
Wait, what is this? Falls Eric or Seth and Erick Rowan?
Yeah.
Well, Seth Rollins probably.
Yeah.
Unless Erick Rowan's going to have, I don't know. I kind of feel like they're not going to do much with Erick. Although he's under Heyman right now. Heyman, he seems like he could be a Paul Heyman guy.
Maybe.
Heyman loves taking those dudes who have like all the potential and turning them into something.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was expert at like ECW. People be leaving left and right, so he'd have to make stars out of guys like Rhino, Mike Awesome. You know.
Yeah.
He had no problem pushing big dudes like that.
Mm-hmm.
Next, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair to appear days before WWE Crown Jewel. If tensions weren't already at a boiling point between Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and their respective teams heading into their massive 5-on-5 tag team showdown at WWE Crown Jewel, they certainly are now. A war of words between the two WWE Hall of Famers and team representatives devolved into fisticuffs Friday on SmackDown, setting up a 6-man tag team match won by Team Hogan competitors Roman Reigns, Ali, and Shorty G. With only 3 days before the score is settled at Crown Jewel, what's in store when both the Hulkster and the Nature Boy are on hand for Raw on USA Network at 8/7 Central.
Next, Becky Lynch to face Kairi Sane on Raw in Match of Champions. This should be great. Champions collide this Monday night as Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch will battle Kairi Sane of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Kabuki Warriors. The match was announced on Fox Sports 1's WWE Backstage following Friday Night SmackDown. Will the man continue her dominance over the Raw Women's division, or will Sane step up under the bright lights? Find out, USA 8/7 Central.
That's going to be a good one.
That's going to be great.
It will probably be cringy and maybe funny.
Oh, gosh.
Rusev and Lana will take their quarrel to the King's Court. After serving as the catalyst for fireworks last week in WWE's most scandalous love triangle, what will we see this week on the King's Court? Lana and Bobby Lashley's restaurant date interrupted Rusev's conversation with Jerry the King Lawler, later leading to the Bulgarian Brutes attack on Lashley in the very same restaurant. Rusev was ultimately taken into custody by the Cleveland Police Department. After being released when Lana and Lashley didn't press charges, Rusev is set to appear again on the King's Court, and he'll be joined by his estranged wife herself, Lana. What will the two former lovers have to say before Rusev and Lashley represent Team Hogan and Flair at Thursday's WWE Crown Jewel?
Next.
So that's your bathroom break right there. But it's probably going to be funny.
I don't know.
There's going to be some funny lines.
There probably will be, but the King's going to make it really awkward.
Yeah, because King is going to have no idea what to do because he's going to want to be so salacious, and he's not going to be allowed to.
That's going to be his impulse, but
Yeah.
he won't be able to.
He's
It's
going to
make
explode live on TV.
incredibly awkward. Ricochet looks to tip the scales for Team Hogan rematch with Team Flair's Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre made good on his promise to make things uncomfortable last week, defeating Ricochet after Ric Flair unveiled McIntyre as the final member of his team for WWE Crown Jewel. Team Hogan answered with a volley of his own when Captain Roman Reigns and teammates Ali and Shorty G got the better of Cesaro, and Team Flair representatives King Corbin and Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura in six-man tag team action on SmackDown.
Young boy.
Now Ricochet gets a chance to avenge last week's loss, while McIntyre once again looks to enforce his will on WWE's resident superhero.
Pew, pew.
Find out who will seize the advantage. Gosh, everyone. 8/7 Central USA Network. In case you had any question about what time Raw was going to be on and what channel.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's take some questions.
Yeah. Dylan asks, Andrade and Angel Garza, a team, yay or nay?
That could actually be not just because they come from the world of lucha, but they have a similar story. Like Andrade used to be Party Boy, Angel Garcia, obviously Party Guy, Angel Garza. What do I call him?
Angel Garcia.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Why did that sound like a real name though?
I'm sure it probably is somebody's name.
Anyways, he's a party guy, and they like to be party guys. And like Andrade could be torn between reverting to his party guy roots.
But here's the thing: does Andrade get the tearaway pants too? As a tag team, I feel like there should be.
So the tearaway pants could be the faction offering that is usually a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Where
Angel Garza does tearaway pants. You think, oh, they're about to fight. Instead, he offers them to Andrade.
And then they recruit Angel Garcia.
Now you're gonna look to see who Angel Garcia is. Terrence Thompson, as a black man / fan, I could go on and on about this. Tyler Williams, considering the company, not surprising. Minion TM says AEW is better than Disney.
Interesting. In what way?
Fear and Loathing. No surprise of the year they don't invite you guys. The game craps out.
Right? Exactly. I'm talking about.
W.S. Fletcher, the Jay Lethal part, I would need more info. I've said for years, WWE needs diversity on the executive levels, and please don't use Kofi as an exception to the rule as your proof that WWE is good with race.
Yeah, you can't point at like 6 weeks of decent booking. It's like, well, they did that, right?
Yeah, there's like 40 years, if not more prior. AP1, Larson this morning on the Riz show, local radio, Gallows and Anderson were on promoting Raw tonight in St. Louis. They mentioned Fiend and Rollins being in a steel cage for the main event. That's probably the dark match after the show.
Mm-hmm.
I've read they've been doing that as the dark match. Where's this other one from? Fear and Loathing says, no more Lawler, please. Yeah, we heard he was only be on for a short time.
Yeah, but you know what that means.
Yeah, months.
Jimmy until Vince is like, okay, we're good. And the way the Vic Joseph and Dio Madden, I mean, it's going to take. I wonder if they'd actually be better without Lawler in terms
they
of.
would.
Well, no, just in terms of like we're a bit more comfortable. I mean, they need to get comfortable with each other.
I know. I think by any conceivable metric, they'd be better without Lawler.
Dio Madden sometimes looks like an animatronic guy.
I think he's uncomfortable because
he is very uncomfortable.
Because like Vic's doing his job, he's doing play-by-play.
Yeah, but there's also certain mechanics. There are certain conventions that they need to get rid of with whenever they when they're standing up and they have their back to the ring, and they have to throw to something. It is the most unnatural thing. Even Corey Graves half the time didn't really know what to do with his face.
I know.
Like he would sit there and he'd do his selfie picture when he raises
when
an
you're
eyebrow.
standing there and Cole's talking.
Yeah.
And you got to act like you're invested in what he's saying.
Dio he literally looks like a robot person. He smiles. He does not look comfortable at all. And I feel like on 205, he was just sitting there at the desk.
Yeah, they didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to take some getting used to. And I'll be
Definitely.
honest with you, just get rid of it. Just have a camera.
It's completely unnecessary.
Pointing at the table.
It's completely unnecessary to have pointing at tables and say have them do stand-ups like that.
Yeah, they need to be sitting down the entire time.
Generally, they just throw to some other video package. You don't need to do that. Jose Alaguna just asked you want to come over to my house.
Hey, lady. People in the Friendoverse, they clipped that bit of the SmackDown stream when I think it was Eddie Salgado asked us, what if we were single, what would we do on a date?
Yeah.
And we're like, I don't know. Like, hey, lady, you want me to come over to your house? I'll get some Burger King and condoms. Fools. Let's see here. I'm gonna
there's Twitter.
There's a Twitter thread here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not here. Hold on.
Oh, I'm not even on Twitter.
I know. I gotta get on Twitter now.
I'm gonna get on Twitter. This is the part of the
gotta
show
get
where
on the Twitter.
we stare at our phones.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Ventura Gonzalez says, "Where's the question thread? It was earlier. It was an earlier tweet there, Ventura. Sorry, but it's clearly here. We have 33."
Mr. Triple Mania Juan Guerrero Jr. asked, "Will Twitter question threads only be for Monday shows from now on instead of Mondays and Fridays?" We'll still do some Friday news shows. Yeah. Fridays kind of be like our utility day. If we're going to do a gaming stream, it'll probably be on Fridays. If there seems like there's news that we need to talk about Monday or Friday mornings, we'll do that.
Yeah, we'll probably move more towards like a beefed up news brief on Monday or on Fridays.
So like we do on Wednesday.
If we need to.
Yeah.
So yeah, chances are Mondays are going to be the Twitter question threads alone. Let's see here. Greg Morris, what would it take to have a tag title match main event, a pay-per-view?
It'd probably have to be an AEW show.
Yeah, that's exactly what it has to be. It's a shame because like a year ago, the New Day and the Usos had a main event level feud, and it still didn't reach the main event. So at this point, I don't know what would.
Uptown Terry Funk. So JR pointed out in his most recent podcast that he believes that Bray Wyatt's current gimmick is a babyface being portrayed as an evil heel. Do you think if he was presented as such, this Bray Wyatt would be more over than as a heel?
I think he's super over right now. I think people really like The Fiend right now. I think that he's
potentially the most interesting character they got going right now.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you think they think that he's a heel?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because of how he, breaking people's necks and stuff like that? Are they ever going to understand that people just like really cool stuff?
They like interesting characters
and
doing cool things.
They're going to pop for that.
I know.
Yeah. Let's see. Roy Martinez says, how are we so blind to Balor's heel turn? The man was in all black while wearing leather. It's a good point.
It was a good point.
But, he's also really cool just in general. So, that outfit isn't out of the norm. But that's a good point.
That is a good point.
Samuel Bronkowitz. I love that name. So we've had boxers, MMA fighters. Yeah, AEW just signed a boxer. What do you think about that?
Cody said that he's their first real developmental prospect, so I guess it depends on how quickly he acclimates to the world of pro wrestling. He's an Olympic boxer.
Yeah.
So
I'm
he's
fine with it. WWE
Totally.
signed up
Yeah,
also.
man.
They signed up Kurt Angle. He was an Olympian.
yeah, totally cool
Anyways,
with
He
it.
said, what other sports athletes would you like to see enter
Hockey
a wrestling
players.
ring?
They fight sometimes.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
I'm
one.
not talking about the goon. I don't know if you actually ever played hockey, but like hockey
What about
players.
like a javelin guy?
How would those skills translate to pro wrestling potentially?
Could throw things. Like at a kendo stick. I don't know.
Don't think that's going to work quite the way you
Probably
think it will.
not.
I know. It just bounces off. They're like, you expect that to go in me?
What is that supposed to do to me?
It like barely hurt.
Oh, no, I got it.
Huh.
The Russian slapping guys.
There you go. You win.
That's his finisher, is a slap
I
in the
know.
face.
You think a Walter chop is bad?
Yeah. Zigzag punch. What kind of customization options do you want to see in an AEW video game? All. I want Ukes. I don't know if they're even allowed to do. I don't know if Ukes is a separate entity or what. I don't know what their deal is. But I want whatever I want. If Ukes is going to go off and make another wrestling game, I want it to be exactly like 2K19, except everything is customizable.
Yes, everything.
Maybe have a roster of like some indie wrestlers who are signing up just so you have a base roster.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I think that if you just market it as, hey, customize your heart out, man, then I think they'll have something good.
Exactly. Jamencito Gomez? Where's Lars Sullivan? Go smash Brock.
I think he's still injured.
Yeah, he's got a bum knee.
Yeah.
Alex Ramirez is getting fired, feeling blessed. Power of positivity.
Getting fired, feeling blessed. Hey, man, getting laid off is the best thing that ever happened to me. Tell you what. 2 times, actually. Both times I got laid off.
Led on to better things.
Yeah, for sure. Matthew Flanagan. Say GM's return, but in the same way Regal is GM of NXT, running things off camera mostly, and only pops up when needed. Who would you make general manager of Raw and SmackDown as well? So let's say that general managers, SmackDown and Raw were assigned general managers, but more in the
More like doing paperwork behind the
Regal.
scenes most of the time.
Yeah, who do you want to see exacerbated? Stressed out all the time from too much paperwork. But then every once in a while, they'll do a video thing from their office alone. Well, they'll be happy. Regal always seems happiest when he's by himself.
Brings me great joy to announce Kairi Sane and Asuka.
Laurinaitis.
Oh,
Gosh.
I've got so much paperwork to do.
John Cena.
Oh, that's a good one.
John Cena.
They're all on location from like movie sets.
Exactly. And so he's in his trailer doing all the paperwork.
That's good.
And he's got to make matches via Skype.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like I'm between takes here.
They're like cameo videos.
I got this pile of paperwork I have to get through. Oh, Charles Monroe in chat here says Edge.
Oh, that's a good one.
On this day, I see clearly all the paperwork I have to do.
Anthony Tobias. Today is the 1-year anniversary of Evolution. Do you think we will see another women's pay-per-view in the near future?
I hope so.
Triple H says that it's something they're working on.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're waiting for Ronda to be ready.
Could be.
Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Chester says, we've started GMT now instead of BST. Aren't time zones fun? So the Brits are now 7 hours ahead of us instead of 8 hours ahead of us.
Until we set our clocks back, right?
That's in a couple months?
That's no, I think it's in a week.
Really? It's next week?
I think last year was the
Don't we
second.
get like an hour of sleep back? Or do we
Something.
lose another hour of
It's so
sleep?
confusing. I don't know. Time zones are really confusing.
Very confusing.
I understand we can't have all the same time zone, but darn, would that just be more convenient?
I like a lot of people here are simply asking us, what's our thoughts about the ACH thing? And I'm like, did you not see? Like, obviously, we're going to talk about that because, like, the GIF I put was of him. Like, that's like, just stay tuned, I guess.
Well, I know, but they probably asked that before the show started.
No, it was in the question thread.
Yeah, no, but before the show started.
Yeah, but can't you extrapolate if I'm putting that
I don't
GIF
know,
that
man.
that's
I'm
what we're going
just
to talk
curious
about?
what we thought.
Jameson Bennett, what was your guys' favorite thing that's happened this week in wrestling? You know what I wasn't happy with?
What?
Didn't you? There was like an unprotected chair shot to Maria Manic in their Nick Gage match.
Oh, I didn't
Saw
see
a
that.
GIF of that. Not cool with that, man.
Not a good idea.
Gotta keep that stuff. Don't bring that back. Of all the things you can bring back, don't bring that back.
Don't bring that back.
What was your favorite thing that's happened this week in wrestling? Larson.
I know we talked about the young boy line from SmackDown, but
That was good.
Lost in that though was Roman trash talk to Baron.
Yeah, it was good.
That was really
He
good.
said stupid a lot.
But it was very natural and very comfortable. It was like the most effective promo work he's maybe ever done outside to put that beef away.
Nothing beats Young Boy, though.
No, that was funny.
That was so out of nowhere. It still makes me laugh. Let's see here. Oh, man. Joseph Molina says, when is my power coming back on?
Yeah.
Everybody's losing their power, man.
Damn it, PG&E.
Like, you have one job.
You know why
Keep
they're
the
shutting
lights
off
on.
all this power? Because their infrastructure's so jacked up. They're
Yeah,
afraid of
it's
starting
messed
wildfires by doing their job. What is supposed to be their
man.
job, supplying power to people.
Yeah.
They say, we can't do that because our equipment's so jacked,
Mm-hmm.
we might start fires. Fix your stuff, PG&E.
Poor long-term booking.
Jeez.
I prefer Smut at the head of my creative.
Exactly.
Ezra Zealous, longtime friendo, do you think it's a possibility that Drew could cost Braun the match and lead into a good feud? He says, I couldn't come up with a good finish until you guys said something about that. Yeah, Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. That'd be
Excuse me.
terrific. I'm curious if it's going to happen. I don't know if they'd want like a wonky finish.
I don't know
I
either.
don't know.
Daylight savings November 3rd, so Sunday, week from yesterday.
Wow. That's awesome.
But then it's going to get dark at like 4:30.
Yeah, I like that. I'm ready. I'm ready, man. My bones are ready.
And I feel like 2 hours later I get tired because my buddy
Ready
thinks
for
it's time to go
cold
to
weather.
sleep.
Yeah.
Well, then
man.
you must have loved this morning. It was chilly out this morning.
Oh yeah, and it's not gonna. I think it's maybe gonna hit 70 today,
No, okay.
if that. Might get to 69. Let's see here. Oh man, wait, what? Really?
What?
Is this true? Yeah, this sounds true. Grapshausen Retweethausen says, "What do you think about WWE games charging £12 for the Bump in the Night DLC, even if you pre-ordered the game?"
Lame.
Yeah,
They should be
lame.
giving that free to
They should
everybody.
be giving everything free. Everything. You paid $60 for this crap. Here.
Yeah.
Just take everything.
For round of DLC for free.
Rip off.
At the minimum.
Rip off.
At the minimum.
Rip.
At the minimum.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it. That's good for a show.
Sounds good to me.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. Be sure to hit that subscribe button right now.
Yes. Remember, if in the comments,
Hey man, just be cool.
just be cool.
Just be cool.
Just be cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.